Chinese-made MANPADS are emerging as a new threat to low-flying US and Israeli aircraft over Iran. Analysts warn portable Chinese air defense missiles could complicate future American air operations. The Pentagon faces a tougher air defense challenge as Chinese MANPADS enter the Iran battlefield debate. Low-altitude strike missions could become significantly riskier if Iran fields more Chinese-made MANPADS. Military analysts say portable air defense systems could reshape the next phase of any US-Iran air war. An analysis has explained why Chinese-made MANPADS could significantly raise risks for future US and Israeli air operations over Iran. Iran International reported the shoulder-fired missiles would not rebuild Iran's heavily damaged integrated air defense network. However, the analysis said the portable missile systems could pose the greatest danger to aircraft flying at low altitudes. Modern fighter jets operating at higher altitudes would face a much lower level of threat from the reported MANPADS. The presence of shoulder-fired missiles could force pilots to fly higher, reroute missions, or alter planned attack profiles. Military planners could also require additional aircraft, more suppression missions, and extra time before launching air operations. Experts said helicopters, strike aircraft, and close support missions would face the highest level of exposure to MANPADS threats. The analysis concluded that wider deployment of MANPADS could complicate future US and Israeli air operations over Iran. The report also warned that the spread of shoulder-fired missile systems could raise broader regional proliferation concerns. The analysis emerged only days after reports suggested China could deliver MANPADS to Iran in the coming weeks. Trump appears to get cold feet and cancels fresh Iran strikes just as Mujtaba is warning Arab states about hosting US attacks. Iran strike cancelled. Another dramatic Tucker Bowl moment from Donald Trump as he pivots from threats to talk of deals. Trump says he called off a planned attack on Iran after being asked to pause by Tehran and other Middle Eastern countries. Trump claims the US, Iran, and regional states have agreed on the perimeters of a new deal to end the war. In a Truth Social post, Trump vows that the deal would fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end Iran's nuclear threat. Trump insists the US is locked and loaded but agrees to hold off strikes on Iran while negotiators try to seal the deal. Trump said, and I quote, "The USA is locked and loaded and ready to go against the Islamic Republic of Iran, at levels of military terror, strength, and power not seen since World War II. Despite this, we have just been asked by Iran, and other Middle Eastern countries, to hold off any attack in that the perimeters of a deal has been agreed to. This would include the immediate, complete, and total opening of the Hormuz Strait, and an end to Iran's nuclear threat. Based on this request, I have agreed, for the future benefit of the world and, likewise, the survival of a successful and prosperous Iran, to cancel the attack, subject to being able to rapidly make a deal. The country of Israel joins me in this commitment. Get to work, everybody, and get it done." Unquote. Trump and US officials say the naval blockade and pressure campaign around Hormuz will continue until a final agreement is signed. IRGC-affiliated Fast News on July 31 listed major energy facilities in the Gulf and Israel as possible targets for retaliation. According to Iran International, the list covered energy sites across the Persian Gulf and offshore Israeli gas fields. The IRGC warned that all of these facilities sit well within the range of Iran's missile arsenal, making them legitimate targets. Iran International citing Fast News named, and I quote, Saudi Arabia's Ghor oil field, Abqaiq and Karai's facilities, the UAE's Ruwais refinery and Zarqam oil field, Qatar's North Field and Ras Laffan LNG facilities, Kuwait's Bergen oil field, Bahrain's Sitra refinery and Israel's Leviathan and Tamar gas fields. Unquote. The report also pointed back to Iran's earlier strike on Qatar's Ras Laffan gas facilities during the current conflict. Those Ras Laffan facilities were hit in direct response to Israeli and US strikes on Iran's South Pars gas field. On July 31, Iran reacted angrily to reports that the US and Israel were weighing strikes on its energy infrastructure. A senior Iranian security official blasted the idea of such strikes as a kind of madness, warning of massive retaliation. Tasnim citing the official said, and I quote, "Iran has prepared extensive response plans that include targeting critical infrastructure of Israel and US energy infrastructure in the region, and that Tehran is prepared to carry them out." Unquote. Reports say the US and Israel are preparing possible strikes against energy targets inside Iran. CBS News reported the potential campaign on July 31st, citing multiple sources, as relayed by Iran International. The mooted US-Israeli campaign could hit Iranian power plants, refineries, and other energy nodes. Reports emphasize that President Trump has not yet given final approval for those strikes. Trump has ordered a new round of strikes on Iran that could start as soon as this weekend, according to officials. The Wall Street Journal carried the same claim on July 31st, citing US officials, as quoted by Iran International. Trump has warned Tehran it will face heavy military action unless it comes back to the negotiating table. In a cabinet meeting at Camp David, Trump vowed the US would be hitting them very hard.
Iran is doing very poorly. Just in case you read incorrect stories, they're doing very, very poorly. They're having a hard time. They've been very dishonest. They've been very dishonorable to deal with. But that makes no difference. They're doing very, very poorly. Their missiles have been largely, they have some left. They have some, but they have far fewer than they had 4 or 5 months ago. Their manufacturing capacity is almost gone. The drone capacity is almost gone. They're very few, but they have some. If they have one, that's too many as far as I'm concerned.
On your orders, we started in March 2025. In December of 2025, the largest bank in Iran collapsed. The central bank had to print money, caused inflation. Now they got 180% inflation. They aren't able to pay their troops. And on your orders, we are searching for their assets all around the world, and that money will go to the Iranian people, Americans who have been harmed by the Iranians, whether the USS Cole or the barracks in Lebanon, or it will go back to when the Iranians attacked these ships coming out. So it's been a privilege to be part of that.
What is the status of talks? Who from the administration
Well,
is
they always
talking
want to talk, but they break their word so often. Steve is talking, Jared, we have very good people. JD's involved, very strongly involved. We have great people talking. Marco's involved. They're all
They
involved.
say talks aren't happening.
Very good people. We have the best people. But they'll make a deal. As an example, we'll talk about nuclear. And we'll be in there talking about nuclear for 7 hours. I say, why do you need 7? You can take 10 minutes. You have 5 minutes. You should solve it. But 7 hours. And then they'll go out, and I'll say, they discuss nuclear. And they'll go out and they'll say, we never discussed nuclear. And I say, why do they say that? All they do is make me angry. You know, they just make me angry.